I have a lot to say about that, but I didn't get to say it because Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does. I told Fab straight up. I was like, look, man.
I wish you had just told me, just go to bed.
By the way, that is the stupidest rule in all of sports.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You win the coin toss, and that's it.
I think it's stupid too. I have to agree. I think like the most critical part of the season, you got to be able to at least to respond.
Yeah, like how they do in college.
Like give Patrick a reply. Like he had a phenomenal season, and like he doesn't even get the ball.
No,
Light skin Mahomes had enough chances.
Like
I agree with that.
D-line's got to hold it down. That's what they're paid the big bucks for.
Yeah, but it's Tom.
Yeah, but you win a coin toss, and that's how you win.
Yeah, like that's stupid. Like it's not even out of merit. It's out of a coin toss. No? Okay, that's like the World Cup final being decided by a coin toss, and whoever wins it gets a penalty shot, and then if you score first, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, what? Isn't that a little crazy?
Those are two different, but you have a whole defensive unit expected to
You got a
go
goalie.
3 up, 3 down.
You got a goalie. He's kicking it, you know?
Yo, that could
He's got a goalie.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
Yeah, it's on.
It could be, honestly.
I'm not a big fan of that.
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind if they changed it, but I'm not like
I think you should just get
anti.
I think you should just get a chance to reply.
That's what I'm saying.
And then once it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
If you can't reply, okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
And if you reply, then you keep going.
Or you play a full quarter. Another full 10-minute quarter or some shit
That's
like
too
that.
long.
I know it's too long, right?
5.
Well, what can you do in full?
You do a lot in 5. That 5 could be stretched out for 45 minutes.
When it's Tom. He's like, okay, I see people calling him the greatest athlete ever. He's the most unathletic athlete ever.
Yeah.
You ever watch his combine?
Yeah, I've seen the combine and I saw those.
That play last year in the final where he couldn't make that catch?
Yeah. Well, he's 41, man.
That's the greatest athlete ever?
I think they're going based off longevity and the fact that he's 41 and still.
But it's the only sport where you can be the greatest at your sport and you do one thing.
But not too many people.
I'm not knocking him at all, but like you look at basketball, the greatest players can do multiple things. You look at hockey, maybe hockey's a little.
No, the greatest of all time is Wayne Gretzky. He was a goal scorer. He was
that's what I mean. Like a passer, you have more traits to your game. Baseball is kind of similar too.
What you're saying? I get what.
But like Tom, like he's phenomenal at throwing the ball. You know, that's what he does. But he wins. At the end of the day, that's what matters. Is he wins.
Yeah, he's playing with a side. Yeah,
and he does it with a bunch of different bums every couple of years.
But the Saints were robbed.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like super football guy.
No, I just knew that he got hit in the head.
Yeah.
With a helmet.
Yeah, you're right. You're
That's
right.
how I broke that play down.
He got hit in the head. Well, you know you're not coming here for that analysis.
NFL analysis 101. The InnerViews Podcast. Hope you guys stay tuned.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't get any video content out yesterday.
Yeah. that just sums it all up there.
That fourth quarter.
And I really wasn't trying to do that Barca game. But everything else except for the game that we thought would be trash, but we knew wouldn't get views, was actually pretty decent.
I figured so.
What did we put out this weekend? I didn't even look.
Oh, we slacked. Well, I slacked. Only Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay, but you did put that out, right?
That should have been the last thing we put out. I should have put out the Bayern on the Friday. But Friday I was
toast.
Yeah,
it's okay. We got that. We got Higuain.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
Apparently.
Hey,
I've been reading that he's gonna land in London every other day.
Listen, there's drones.
Okay, that all makes sense.
That's why. Hey, you know what? Shout out to Sassuolo. That's all I have to say. Good for them. Them and Barca. That's a transfer.
We're gonna get to that in a bit.
It's kind of wild that Kevin Prince Boateng and Vidal play on the same team now. Aren't they like the same player?
God,
they're kind of the same player.
You know what? In 2019.
Yeah, in 2019, yeah. Maybe 10 years ago they were slightly different. But
do you know what? Honestly, when I saw Boateng, I thought I misread that.
You thought it was Jerome?
Yeah. I was like, I'm like,
you can't beat him, join him, Jerome.
I'm like, okay.
But I was still, my reaction was still the same when it was.
Yeah. What is it? Especially as a midfielder. What are you going to, they already have problems trying to fit everybody in.
Yeah.
That's got to mean
he's going to be the false nine because they couldn't keep Munier.
That's got to mean that one of those other guys are gone.
No, well, I thought they're gonna play him. He's the backup forward.
That's the plan?
Yeah.
Really?
They lost Munier.
He's still gonna bag like 10 goals.
And he's gonna play as the false nine like he does, or the false nine like he does at Sassuolo.
Hey, you know what?
That is the plan.
All I can say is good for them. Sassuolo.
Good for him.
Good for
Are you
what do you
kidding
mean?
me?
He's the winner here.
Good for him.
No, Sassuolo is the winner here.
Would they get $7 million for him?
Yeah, for a club like Sassuolo, that's huge.
I'm sure they made more off Politano last season.
Maybe they did.
Yeah,
I forgot that.
They did.
Yeah,
I sure hope so.
They
yeah,
did.
yeah, they did. I forgot that they sold him. Yeah.
And there was Berardi, right?
No, he's still there.
Yeah,
He's still there?
Yeah.
He should have left by now.
Yeah,
There's someone else who should have left too.
I'm trying to think of who the other guy is. Whatever. We don't fact check.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we'll figure it out tomorrow morning.
Good on you, Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Maybe we'll get to see another one of his iconic Michael Jackson dances at the Camp Nou.
Yeah.
If he wins a
You guys
Champions
are
League.
really going down memory lane.
Him and Vidal.
Yeah,
They're gonna break it down together. Break down the walls.
Vidal has no swagger.
If I think of a toxic dressing room, I feel like Vidal and Boateng would definitely play a heavy part of it.
Oh yeah.
So how they're going to keep that all together?
And Suarez.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
And Louis.
Yeah.
And PK.
Oh, Dembele's never making it to practice now. Him and Prince are going to
If
be
him
playing
and Prince
FIFA.
go out on the town,
Oh, forget
It's gonna
that.
be a long
I
night.
feel like that's a party.
Coutinho being the awkward. Yeah.
Oh, he's the third wheel.
I'll get to him, and we're gonna get to him eventually.
He's leaving Barcelona.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's Monday.
Favorite day of the week.
Favorite day of the week. The best day of the week. The night where we don't really get much sleep. This is gonna be one of them. I'm just forewarning you guys right now. It's gonna be one of those. I love Mondays. I hope you guys love Mondays too. Don't worry, you guys get to sleep Tuesday. Oh, Dan doesn't, but we won't get into that. Well, he may sleep if things don't work out right.
Well, if they don't work out, then he's going to be up all night thinking about what went wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And my phone's going to be on airplane mode. Telling Fabs to put his on airplane mode too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be bitter on Wednesday.
Yeah. See, we don't get to see you Wednesday.
No.
Well, see, Fabs, you get to sleep on Tuesday.
Thanks.
So yeah, you're gonna get a full 8 minimum if you want. You get to choose
In my own bed. Pause.
Yeah.
Not on the couch by the computer.
No, don't worry. The couch has been my new bed as well.
I appreciate that.
So don't worry, guys. We got a lot to talk about. So with that being said, unless you guys want to keep going down Serie A memory lane,
no, we're good.
You know, mic's on.
Mic's on.
This is a soundboard.
The soundboard is on this week.
Cameras on.
Yes.
Yep. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Ready?
It's the InnerViews Podcast, episode number
54?
54?
I think so.
I hope it's 54. If not, guys, well,
someone let us know.
It's probably 55. It's episode 54. It's your guy Tyrrell, live and direct from Toronto, Ontario. It's a bit late. Some of you may be in bed while we're recording this, but you'll definitely hear it in the morning. I don't want to say definitely because things can happen. It's very cold in the city. The snow has touched down. Winter has arrived. But that hasn't stopped us from doing what we do best. I am not alone. Dan is here. Fabs is here. I'm not going to ask them how they're doing because every single week I get the same response. And I'm not here for it this week. I know that you guys are good. You're smiling. You're breathing. Everyone's no real gripes. There were no checks. There were no, cut eye. Everyone's in good spirits. There was a big weekend. Lots of games.
First weekend in a while that everything's back.
Everything is back. You guys don't seem like you're very excited about that, but everything is back. You guys liked when it was only the Premier League.
Oh, that's the best.
And just like a bit of like Serie A.
Or the fact that this weekend there is no Premier League. That's amazing.
Oh, see?
Oh, that's right.
6 less games you got to watch.
Yeah. Just FA Cup.
What's FA Cup this weekend?
Yeah. I don't care about the FA Cup for another couple of rounds anyways.
No.
Well, I'm pretty sure Arsenal play United. You got to care about one game.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah, one game.
We'll give them that much. But at least it allows us to focus a little more on Bundes and everything else.
Yeah, I feel like eventually at some point people are going to kill us about that. So we
can't neglect it any longer.
No, we can't. We did watch most of it this weekend.
Yeah.
I like to think.
The important
as
stuff.
A unit.
The important stuff.
The important stuff.
As a unit.
We can piece it together.
Yeah, we can piece it all together and get, down to the nitty-gritty.
Some insight.
Well, I always say I'm never going to ask you guys. You guys good?
We're good.
Very good.
Weekend was great.
Yep. It was capped off with some interesting football.
Survive the. We're not getting back into the
American
NFL.
football.
We're not getting back into the NFL. Survive the winter storm.
Yes.
Barely.
What do you mean barely?
The heater ended up not working at the house. Hot water went down.
Oh, you were west.
I was west.
Fair.
Warming up the water with the stove.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
that takes me back to Portugal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable.
You take baths and they have to warm up the water.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
The outhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, we rough it there.
Yeah.
We're like in the town. Not really in the city.
That's fair. I could get that, but really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was not an ideal time to lose a little bit of that hot water, but we survived.
That's all that matters. I saw a guy in the midst of the storm without the roads being plowed riding his bicycle.
Really?
Now, I get that some people don't take public transportation and their bike is their only way to get around the city. But I mean, man, it's like the biggest snowstorm that we may get this year. You could stay at home.
Yeah.
I wanted to yell at him out the car and be like, go back home.
Was he maybe like an Uber Eats guy?
It was 7 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday.
Well, maybe somebody was getting their bacon and eggs delivered.
Uber breakfast?
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
No.
Can I get Denny's to Uber breakfast me?
I don't think
Have you guys ever tried?
I think I might have to try.
I'll try one day.
Just let us know.
I probably won't eat it, but
I don't know. I feel like getting up for breakfast is kind of. I'd rather take those extra 2 hours of sleep than get up for bacon and eggs.
I agree.
I was about to be like, Dan was about to tell you no.
No. Breakfast is for me just cereal. I'm not a big breakfast person.
Does cereal count as breakfast?
I guess. No, well, I was gonna say you could eat it at any point of the day, but you can eat anything at any point of the day.
I don't know, man. When I eat I'd have to have cereal with like something else and something else.
No, I'm just a plain.
It doesn't sit.
Breakfast is cereal, maybe some fruit inside the cereal, but that's about it.
Okay, fair enough.
That fruit in the cereal, you're fancy.
I know.
You're like one of those little Instagram models that like
Yeah.
show you how their breakfast is being made. Let me throw in the blueberries.
Did you get some fit tea while you're at it?
No, I don't do that.
The tummy tea or whatever they call it.
No.
Fab, you gotta There's definitely someone who's gonna be watching this that has that.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill you.
If you promote tummy tea, good for you.
Get your bag.
Hey, if it works, it works. I'm waiting for them to call me up. I could use some tummy tea.
Are people still moving that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like what's the new product that Instagram moves? Because it feels like it goes in waves.
I don't want to know.
Like there's the tummy tea, and then there's those veneer teeth things.
I'm good. I'm great. I don't want your tea or anything that you're selling. We're fine.
And my teeth look just
fine.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fabs went to the mall and spent like 5 hours there.
Yeah.
And he didn't get an iPhone. So he's a loser.
No.
Yeah,
I'm Android. I'm Android, man. Come on.
What phone could you possibly wait 5 hours for?
Well, do you know how quickly these people move at the kiosk? They're not the fastest.
What phone?
Oh, you went to one of those kiosks?
That's nice.
Oh, is that the new?
No. The new one comes out in a month, but I can wait a month. So I didn't get a burner for that.
So it's the Galaxy?
Yes.
How is it?
Ronaldo and Messi pushed that product. So I don't see no.
They're losers.
Paul definitely has an Apple.
I know.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%.
I win this battle.
Paul definitely has an iPhone or two.
Yeah, he's definitely got a few.
Oh God.
Does Paul have a significant other? Have we discussed this?
Apparently, he's having a kid.
Oh, really?
Paul
that doesn't mean much.
No, it doesn't mean much. Yeah, you're right. Those guys.
Yeah. What female is taking Paul seriously? I'm big hating on Paul, and I'll admit it. But no, Paul definitely don't.
He doesn't look like the commitment type of guy. He's got too many dance moves to be committed to one woman. You can't spoil one woman with all those dance moves.
I don't know if he has game.
Oh, is that why he did the baby thing?
Yeah.
This weekend? Ding.
You're welcome.
There we go.
This is why I was brought on this podcast.
Wow, we actually figured that out. Those are the hard-hitting questions that you get answered.
Yeah.
Is that what the celebration means?
There you go.
He does too many.
I'll break them all down.
I'm telling you, man. These guys that are spending their time on Instagram doing these, I don't know. There's a new dance every week from a different country.
Yeah.
That Paul masters. Telling you, he has no time to. No. I can't see
to foster a child. Is that what you're saying?
He could foster a child, but like that's not hard to do in today's age with that amount of money.
Fair enough.
But I mean, like to hold down a real woman.
But
I don't know if Paul's ready for that.
I guess he probably wants a woman who...
Not like Marcus. Who's gonna have his life together.
Marcus has his ducks in a row.
Yeah, Marcus is promoting his girl on Instagram.
Or Raheem.
Yeah,
Raheem looks like a good dad. He's out there playing ball with his kid.
yeah. See,
I think he has a lot of kids already.
Does he?
Yeah, Raheem's not the
Yeah.
not the role model.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Hey, if that's what you want to achieve,
Hey,
he's got his own little soccer team.
is he
going.
trying to? Yeah, I was gonna say, is he trying to build his own side?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
trying to make sure one of them make it.
Yeah.
I guess the odds are good if you have 6 of them, and
Yeah.
one of them's
One
gonna
of
be
them's
something.
got to be
Yeah.
good, and you got to focus on that one.
Just don't run like your father.
Yeah,
Actually, he posted something on. I was either Twitter or Instagram
I
that,
saw it.
about the duck running,
Yeah.
and someone's like, it looks like Sterling running down the wing, and
Yeah,
he had a good.
You had a good laugh.
Yeah, he had a good laugh.
Yeah,
At least he can poke fun at himself. He's not super serious.
No, yeah.
that's the new age. Like he's cut from a different cloth. I
Yeah.
like that. I'm very appreciative of that. Anything else happened this weekend that really mattered?
I think you got it all.
That really
No.
got you guys going? You guys don't want to do small talk anyways. You guys are like in like one of those moods. So I'm really interested to see what you guys really got to say. So I guess since you guys really don't got anything to say, we got to give a shout out to the YouTube subscribers, the Facebook likers and followers, everyone listening to this podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, whatever Android app that Fabs is discovering on his new S9. With,
Spotify.
you know, yeah. Oh, is it really only Spotify?
Well, it's the only app I do.
Okay, that's good. You're not one of those.
We make it convenient for people. We are on Spotify.
You're not really one of those Android users that find the new app.
Oh no, I definitely can. I can know my way around the phone. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. There's a difference between whatever. We're not getting into that. We shout out all of you guys. We thank you, all the YouTube viewers, as Dan brought up last week. We got to thank them for watching us for as long as they watch us, because that sometimes cannot be an easy task. We got to give a shout out to the independent men, the independent women, the Grizz gang, Fabs' De Gea clan that thinks that they can get at me, and my Allison guys that really didn't do much to try and get at him.
Shout out to Sportsnet for taking on the exact same question that we asked.
Good for them.
There you go.
Good for you guys.
And they didn't even put Allison in the
They
poll.
put Ederson. I saw that. Disrespect.
Come on, John.
You guys have one job. At least put the right goalkeepers. Shout out to the homeless people. It's very cold outside. We got to give them a shout out. Shout out to the people that are helping the homeless people.
Hey, I was one of those people this weekend.
Were you?
There was a guy outside the bakery. He was asking for money and I asked him if he wanted a coffee. So I went in and got him a coffee.
You're a good man.
Oh, definitely. Shout out to
Hey,
you.
man, little acts of kindness.
Give yourself an applause.
They go a long way, little acts of
we-
kindness.
Gotta give you a shout out for that. We gotta shout out the Clip Draw gang, the Rebrand gang, all the new Toronto soccer podcasts, all the new soccer podcasts, because they're popping up every day, and it's just like, wow, like competition is real. We really gotta be consistent and stay on the ball. Who else are we really shouting out? Yeah, all the people in love. Shout out to the guys that walk the females down the street and then only get a wave in -30 weather. Yes, that did happen. Big shout out to you guys.
Wow.
Those females really need it.
Shout out to the men who are already planning their Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Shout out to those that were very happy today, because apparently it was the saddest day of the year.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
And yeah, shout out to everyone, man. Keep doing you. We appreciate you. Shout out to the new listeners. Shout out to the listeners that have been with us since day one. Shout out to all the haters that have been with us since day one. Shout out to the new haters. We appreciate you. We love you. And that's all we can really say. So with that being said, since you guys don't really got anything else to do, since the soundboard is working this week, since we have a lot to talk about, Fabs, you know what it is. Time to hit it. It's the InnerViews Podcast, episode number 54 or 55. I'm pretty sure it's 54. We got a lot of things to get down to. I don't know what we're starting with today, but guys, where are we going?
At least you had music to talk over this week.
Yeah. You did your job. You did your job.
I can leave now.
You did your job. Well, where are we going? No small talks. We got a lot of footy to get into. We're serious. Are we going to the Emirates? Since no one wants to answer, you guys are very like.
I was waiting for Dan. I thought
sorry.
Dan,
You guys,
see Dan fidgeting over there. I thought he was going to jump in.
Yeah, let's go to the Emirates first.
you guys really don't have anything to say.
No, let's go to the Emirates.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I
He quickly tries to turn it around. What a jerk.
I want to talk about. We'll start with Arsenal, because I think we got to talk about Sarri too. But
Did they win?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to play with you, Dad. Play with you.
Did you watch the game?
Yes. I did
Wow.
watch the game.
I hope you didn't wing that analysis that he put out.
Look, let's give credit to Arsenal first, because I think. Look. We should talk also, like I said, we should also talk about Sarri. But I think before we get to him, let's give some credit to Arsenal, to Unai. I thought he set up the team well. I thought it wasn't a great game by either team, to be honest. Both goals weren't great. Koscielny can use his shoulder. He's been watching me on the pitch, so that's good. Shout out to him. They lose Bellerin, which I think is a big loss for Arsenal.
Sure, when you don't have a natural replacement, really. And Lichtsteiner is 45 years old, however old he is.
That's right. So yeah, there's interesting talking points. Aubameyang didn't score again. I don't want to say he's on it's a crisis for Arsenal. Far from it, but they're going to need some other people to step up and score if they want to keep into the race for fourth. Manchester United is hot on their heels. I know that's gonna smile on TY's face.
I'm not smiling.
I don't know. What else do you want to say about Arsenal?
I feel the Bellerin thing is very huge. Because he is, to me, very integral to what they're trying to do. I feel like they've played their best football this season when Bellerin and Monreal, or at least one of them, have been there. The overlaps, the direct play that they necessarily don't really get from Lichtsteiner, or when they play Kolasinac there, they do get that, but he is somewhat of a liability from the defensive standpoint. When you look at it, they did get the setup right, but look, it wasn't a surprise to me. I expected them to at least attempt to do that. They did that against City. They like to play the diamond in these big games where they could try and shut down the midfield. And like what happened at Spurs, the same thing happened here. Not obviously to the same degree, but they shut down Jorginho, took control of the midfield. Like we said, we have to get to Chelsea eventually. And I agree, they didn't play that well, but they played good enough in that first half to get the job done. And they kind of, I don't know if we give them enough credit. I didn't give them enough credit in the analysis, but they did sit a bit deeper. They did make a lot of key blocks. I guess Arsenal sides in the past possibly would have closed that out much more nervier than, if that's even a word, than they did then. So that does show a sign of maturity. I think the thing here is that we saw Koscielny and Socrates. I don't know if that could be a permanent fixture. I don't know if Koscielny could play at this level for a long-term period. So that's a question to be asked. But we saw a good performance. I think Arsenal have played very well in most of the big games, barring that Liverpool game. So that's not really a surprise. The big thing here is, one, obviously, their defensive issues. We know that's a big weakness. Two, it's consistency. They don't obviously have to play at that level, but they need to play much better than they did against West Ham. Like, they were just two complete opposite performances. And if they could do that, then they're going to be in this race. But I don't think that win itself solidifies the thought in my mind that they're going to finish in the top four. It shouldn't, I don't think anyone here is thinking that, but they needed to win, because if they lost, they would have been, 9 points back?
Yeah, it would have been a big jump to overcome.
So, and I don't think they could pull off that 9 point. I don't think they could reverse that. So it was big for them. And I think it's, as harsh as it is to say, it has more to say about this, I don't want to say sorry, but this Chelsea squad.
I think the best way to describe Arsenal's performance, they were efficient. They took whatever few chances that came their way and they buried them. And it's the complete opposite that we seen them the first game, where they had countless opportunities, and they probably should have beat Chelsea the first go around as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were saying that.
Yeah. So to be efficient and then to also play well defensively. What you're saying about Socrates and Koscielny, we don't know how Koscielny can stay fit for a long period of time, but I think there is enough there that if you get that pairing to potentially go for the next 3 to 4 months, that's something you could build around.
I think right now, I think that's their best pairing.
Yeah, well, that's not saying much.
No, it's not saying much, but
I think
with what they have,
Yes.
that's what they have to roll with for the time being.
But even going forward, that's still a decent enough pairing that if you can add somebody who could also play the defensive side of the game, unlike Kolasinac, which is a complete liability about 90% of the time. If you add a left back that can play defensively, I think there are pieces there in that backline that you can play with.
See, I've been on the train to say that Koscielny's finished, so hope he doesn't prove me wrong. But for the 3 months, if they could get the best out of him, or just have him there in terms of leadership, and he's lost his pace, but I would hope that his ability to read the game could make up for that.
If he's willing to play a company type role at this point in his career, that's more than enough.
That was actually who I was about to compare him to, and I think
in what way?
That role,
that leadership role.
I don't think company wants to play that role though.
So that's where the difference is. Is it by choice or is it him? For company, it's not by choice.
Yeah,
it's because there's much better options.
Yeah,
right.
Koscielny will be if they manage to bring in another option. Then will he fall back and just maybe play the cup games, be there as more of a figure as opposed to his on-field presence? And that's a whole nother thing going on with who they're going to bring in, who they're not. Directors are leaving the side.
What's going on?
What's going at the top of the side?
Where's Mesut?
Right? Yeah, right.
They
got to cut ties, I think, at this point.
I'm surprised he's still there now.
Because clearly he's not in Unai's plans.
No, that's clear. That's 100% clear.
For whatever reason, now we don't know what goes on at training.
Yeah,
I think it stems from there. To be honest with you, but you can't have your highest paid player can't sit on the bench every week or not even make the 18.
I was about to say, and some weeks he's not even in the 18.
Exactly, it's not good enough. You can't have that from your top player.
But I think that's so crazy given the fact that they are not guaranteed a top 4 spot.
Yeah, I know.
And I feel that there are a lot of games where like he should be playing.
Yeah.
But the question now is, sorry to interrupt.
Don't be sorry.
The question now is, how fit is he? And how long would it take him to get back into Unai's plans?
Mesut?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's fit.
I don't think he is.
I think that injury thing is just a cover-up.
Yeah. I think he's fit.
Think he's fit?
Yeah.
Because you can't go 1 week to not being in the 18 and the next week you're on the bench because of fitness.
So I don't know, because honestly, man, I want to see Alex Iwobi every week. I really don't.
But the thing I find interesting is that the fans are almost backing Unai. They've almost had enough of Ozil.
Yeah.
Whereas if you flip the script and you go look at United, with Mourinho and Pogba, it's the complete opposite. Where everybody was on Pogba's side saying he has to play every game. Where if you go to Arsenal, it's kind of the shoe's on the other foot.
Well, the thing about Arsenal is that they're doing things right. And the thing about United is that they're not. And we're going to get to them in a bit. The thing, I get it. I get where Unai is going with it. But I don't know if he's making the right decisions. We'll see. I guess we'll only know in year 2 or year 3 if he makes it, because it's the same thing with Ramsey. I don't think that Ramsey should go. I don't know what Ramsey's asking for in terms of wages.
Well, apparently he already has the pre-contract signed with Juventus.
Yeah, but
I heard 6 million.
And Juve are willing to pay that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's fine. Like I think that when he's fit, he is a big asset to any side if he has 2 holders that could play behind him. I think he is good enough. And I think that he will help Juve. We'll get to that later as to why after watching today. But it's like he's cutting ties with Ramsey, he's cutting ties with Ozil, and we don't know what's coming in.
That's the big question.
I want to have faith that the board is going to back him. I don't want to have faith that he could attract the players that he wants. But there's a lot to be said about Unai in comparison to what he does with smaller clubs with lesser players, in comparison to when he's at a big club with big egos. So it's going to be interesting to see who he brings in, because I feel like maybe the Arsenal fans think he's going to bring in these big names, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
You don't think Arsenal can draw those big name players?
I'm not saying that they can't. I don't know if they can over Liverpool, City, and United.
What makes
United?
We've already talked about that United brand. But what makes the other
Pep
two?
and Klopp.
Okay.
And that go one of them are going to be Premier League champions, and one of them has a good manager that you could clearly see players like to play for. And I just look at Unai's time at PSG, and the egos didn't
Got-
really. They
got
got the
best of
better
him.
of him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the best case scenario for him. I feel like I said this earlier on and a few podcasts ago, probably decades of podcasts ago, that he's a good in between manager that could build the foundation, and then someone has to come in and finish the job off.
But at this point, with the likes of Guendouzi and Torreira, those are just two of we don't know if those are his signings per se.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna associate them with him.
Mhm.
If you're the fans, you're on board because you've brought in two players that we're just gonna take for example that didn't cost all that much.
Yeah.
And have shown fruits of their labor already, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably saying, okay, you want to get rid of Ozil, you want to get rid of Ramsey, then obviously you're seeing something.
Yeah.
We're seeing Arsenal, we're seeing them give him the keys and say, here, let you build the team.
And that's nice, and I feel like their fans deserve it. So I'm for him. I'm for him. I want to see what he does. It's just interesting that I feel that they could still, even if they're going to cut ties with Ozil in the summer, because it's not happening this month. So if they're going to cut ties with Ozil in the summer, I would like that they wouldn't risk a top 4 spot just to prove a point or just to send out a message.
But does Ozil is he giving you that quality, you think, to finish in the top 4? He gives you that extra little bit?
To beat West Ham, yes. I'm not saying he has to play in the big games, because clearly there's an issue with fitting him in and getting the best out of the side. But if Arsenal are dropping points to away to Brighton and elsewhere, I feel like those are games where Ozil should be playing the full 90. And he's the one creative player that can make something happen.
I'd agree.
So I know there's a lot of Ozil doesn't work hard, work rate, this and that. And you could make the case and we could argue it, and I'm not against it, but I still feel like he should be playing a part in this side if they want to finish in the top 4. And that's not guaranteed. And they're probably the club that I don't expect to make it out of the 4 that are there, because I don't trust them enough. And that's not on Emery. That's just the fact of the situation and what he's come into.
And based on where they are in their project, I don't think anybody coming into the season would even probably imagine. That's why I think they're even happier with the fact that they're in this dogfight.
Yeah.
And that's why they're giving him even more of a backing, because it's look what he's done with his resources.
100%.
I think at this point you could say that Arsenal have overachieved.
Yeah. I don't think anybody could really argue you on that.
No. If by some miracle Arsenal
it's not a miracle. It's not a
okay, by some chance Arsenal finish 4th, I think that's a massive achievement for this club this year, because I don't think they expected to be anywhere close to that fourth position going into this season. So if they finish it, kudos to Unai for that achievement.
Then if you flip it and you look at Chelsea, and then what would happen if they don't finish in the top 4?
Can we wrap this? Can we wrap this up? Not the pod.
Oh, I was like, wow, this was a quick.
Last week, I kind of really tried to speak about that fan base and that club and the players in a nice and light tone, and just kind of patch it all together.
Well, Sarri ripped you in half for that.
No, I'm totally cool with what he said.
So am I.
But now we're a few days after that result, and I don't know. My thing is, what did they expect? What did they think was going to happen? Did they not have a track record of Sarri before he got to the club? Did they not know that they had no chance of winning the league this season? Did they not know that the board didn't invest enough in that squad for them to compete against Liverpool, against City, projects that were already established? Did they not know that they didn't have a goal scorer coming to the season? Did they not know that what Jorginho was before he got there, before they started comparing him to Xavi and Pirlo and Scholes because he made 120 passes in a preseason game when they first saw him? Did they not know that Rudiger and Luis, although they have been better than many would have expected as a pairing, are not center backs that are going to probably win you the Premier League against these sides? Did they not know that Marcos Alonso needed someone else to be at left back to possibly replace him as a first choice or at least be a backup in case he was playing the way he was playing? We've seen Marcos Alonso. We know what he is. He was supposed to have, since that first season that he got there, they were supposed to have a left back ready to step in. They bought Emerson, which doesn't really help the case because I don't think he's any much better than Marcos Alonso defensively.
And now, from what I've heard, and I don't know how far this is now deviated from this, is that Higuain going to Chelsea could send Emerson to Juve.
They're picking up. I think Juve did great for picking up Darmian. We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
I think that's good for them.
But I don't know if that ended up if that was included in part of the loan deal or not. But that's what the initial.
But he's not playing anyways.
No, I know.
Shout out to Marcos Alonso though for always being fit.
Yeah,
and always looking like
Iron Man.
Yeah, and he looks like he's never overworked.
Yeah,
no.
So shout out to him. But what are the solutions here for this club? What do they think they're gonna get? The one solution that's going around is why don't we put Conte in his natural position so that we could get the best out of him, and that will fix the issue. That's not gonna fix the issue.
No.
Because one, then you gotta put Jorginho somewhere, or you gotta put him on the bench. Number two, Conte can't cover that ground. As great as Conte is, as great as he is, as much of a work rate that he is not covering that ground by himself. And
historically, he's always had somebody next to him.
He had Drinkwater, he had Matic,
Yep.
Matuidi, Pogba. He has someone there. So I don't know why they think that. Oh well, if we just flip the two.
Yeah,
it doesn't change the issue.
Not that simple.
And putting him there, Rio was trying to Conte can make that pass.
And since when did Conte become a world beater pass maker?
Yeah, exactly.
And
that was never him.
And what's going to change from Ramsey or Dele sitting on him?
Yeah,
what it doesn't change anything.
No. But you'll just have Matteo sit on Jorginho.
Yeah,
you just swap the roles. What's really going to change about that?
The way that, and remember at the start of the season, the best midfield on paper, it does look like a very nice midfield. It does. But the midfield has a lot of issues. And I don't know if getting rid of Fabregas was the right thing. I always felt that you can't play Fabregas start him for 20 games anyways and win the league. So that's a write-off. Barkley isn't the guy.
No.
Matteo hasn't been who he was supposed to be.
No.
Whoa.
That ended quick.
Well, I've always said that Matteo isn't the guy that many people think he is. And
I could have told you that when he was back at Inter.
But he was young then, so we gave him we gave him a pass.
Fine, he wasn't that guy when he was at Real Madrid.
No,
either.
he wasn't, and he's never been that guy for Croatia, which is why he doesn't even come close to stepping in or even budging Modric, Rakitic, or even Brozovic.
Yep.
Yeah,
doesn't even come close.
Nope.
If I'm Chelsea, I'm asking, can I have Isco instead?
Yeah,
because that might make a little more sense.
Yep.
Yeah, because they have no link.
Yeah.
To the front three, they have no one that can score goals in that midfield.
Well, look. I'm not going to defend Higuain. Actually, you know what I am.
In this case, you kind of have to.
Yeah, I'm going to defend him because the guy, other than when he was at AC, he's got a track record of scoring goals. And I actually don't think this is a bad piece of business from Chelsea. You get him for the last, 4 months of the year. Higuain will score you goals. How many goals? I don't know.
More than those two bums up front.
Absolutely.
You sure hope so.
Absolutely. And this is a Sarri. I don't want to say signing, but this is a player that Sarri wanted.
It is a Sarri signing.
Yeah.
Sarri wanted him from the summer.
Yeah.
But they want to try and get the most out of their investment for Morata.
Right.
Didn't work out.
Nope. And that's fine. Move on from him. You're going to have to move on from Giroud as well. But Higuain will score Chelsea some goals in the short term. What they do, he's not the long-term solution. And I'll tell you that right now. But for this last part of the year, good piece of business by Chelsea.
Is he enough?
For right now?
Is he enough to break into that? Well, not break into, but keep that top 4 position.
He's enough. I personally think if he stays healthy, because what we saw at the start of his Milan tenure, you could see that he's still there. Look, if Juve didn't buy Cristiano Ronaldo, Higuain would still be there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Scoring goals, by the way.
And he would still be scoring goals.
Yeah.
So he ain't finished. And
No.
this is the great thing about English football. They only take pieces of Higuain's career, and what they see of him, and that's what he is. But he's one of the top. I don't say he's the elite. He's right under. At one point, he was the elite.
Yes.
And I want to say he's just right under the elite strikers.
Look, if you look at the amount of goals he scored when he was at Napoli, when he was at Juve, Serie A is not known as a goal scoring league. It's known for it being defensive, and the Premier League is far from being a defensive league.
He scored at Madrid too.
Yes. So I don't think he's going to have as big of an issue scoring goals as the English media are putting him out to be. But is he the solution long term? No. He's not.
He has more creative options at Chelsea. Not saying that by any stretch of the imagination are they that creative of a side, but more. Chelsea have created they've created a lot of chances this season, but just haven't had the striker to finish it off.
Yeah.
And I think if you put him in those situations, he would get the job done.
Unless he has an Argentina shirt on.
Anyways, but the thing here, it's bigger than that. Because when we look at where Chelsea are at now, I'm not surprised. I don't know if you guys are surprised.
I'm not surprised.
But
to a certain degree, yeah.
Are you?
To a certain degree. I expected them to be in the top 4. I don't want to use the word comfortably, but coming into the season, if you told me, do you expect Chelsea to finish in the top 4? I'd say, yeah. We're not too far along from that side that won the Premier League. Like, a lot of those same pieces are still there, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the talent is there. Now, is it more of what Sarri is saying? And it's not easy to motivate these guys. Is there more egos behind it? Is that what drove Conte to not be successful with the team in his second go around? So is there more to it than just on-field ability?
They got 2 managers fired.
Yeah, exactly.
2 great managers fired. And
that bulk of that team is the same.
Yeah. But that's also a bad thing because that was how X amount of years ago.
Yep.
And some of them are still there and some of them haven't gotten better, if we want to be truthfully honest. So and it stems from their best player, who I have a lot of issues with his ambition. And it sucks that we're doing this now because apparently he has an interview with France Football and he said a lot of things, and we're gonna get to that next week, to the things that he said. I didn't see that. Saying that all his previous managers should be frustrated with him, and the whole I don't know if I'm going to leave. There are reasons for me to stay. Like I don't really care. I don't really care. He doesn't like to play as a center forward, and we could see that on Saturday. I don't know. I'm not going to accuse him of not trying, but he definitely didn't look too engaged.
He's got to stop drinking that Griezmann water.
You're supposed to be the best. You're supposed to be the best player in the league. A lot of people think you are the best player in the league, and then you drop that type of performance.
Look, I don't have a problem with what Sarri did. I actually like what he did. The fact that he brought in a translator, spoke in his native tongue so that there was no misconception on what he was saying. So for that, I applaud him. The only thing where I kind of have a gripe with him isn't it his job to motivate his players? Isn't that truly what he's supposed to do? He's the manager.
I don't think you're supposed to motivate your players. You're supposed to organize them in a way that helps them win.
But part of your job is to...
Yeah, but you go into work every day being paid to work.
Yeah. I'm not
saying you specifically, but your boss shouldn't have to motivate you to work. That's on you.
I agree. I'm not taking the blame off the players. I'm just saying, shouldn't one of his roles as a manager is to motivate the players? And I'm not talking just to motivate the players before kickoff or a day before. Shouldn't he be motivating his players every week? Isn't that one of the roles?
If your coach has to motivate you, you're a loser.
There's a lot of losers at Chelsea.
If your manager, this ties with United, and we'll get to that too. If you need to get motivated for that game, then there's a big problem. And a lot of them didn't look like they were in the right state of mind. And I think he's 100% spot on about them not not having that will to win, being soft mentally, no real physicality in the side. It's a total drop off or a complete 180 from the Chelsea team that a lot of people grew to love when Mourinho came around. They were strong. They knew how to win. They could kill a manager, but they could win with a new guy coming in.
Mm-hmm.
These guys can't do that. And I really think that they would be exposed more if Conte didn't do what he did.
Yep.
If he didn't do what he did, then a lot of these players really wouldn't have anything to really say, because they should have never won that league. But given the way everything was around that time, they were able to get it done. And they did it in record fashion. But when we go to Fabs' point, look, you are paid to win. You are paid to perform to your best, the best of your ability. That is your job. Whether the manager plays you there, whether the manager plays you in a position that you don't want to play in, you are supposed to perform to the best of your ability. And the problem in today's age is that these players are coddled, and whatever they say kind of really goes.
Mm-hmm.
And the excuse is that, and I've had this thrown at me all the time, well, you can't fire all the players, so you might as well fire the manager. But that is a problem.
It's fundamentally
that is I'm not saying that when you say that to me that you are incorrect, but that is a problem that someone or people need to address, because these players have killed too many managers to still be there, to still be still be getting paid the money that they are getting paid. And whenever they go, wherever they're going to go next, it's not going to fly like that. Especially when I look at Eden, you want to play for a big club and you want to perform like that and think that you're going to get that big move. If I'm Madrid, why would I want him?
If he was at any other club, would he be on the bench right now after these performances?
I know if he's playing for Klopp or he's playing for Pep, he's not taking interviews where he's saying my dream's to play for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
How many times have we heard that in the last 6 months of him talking about Madrid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not flying at Liverpool. It's not flying at City.
Nope.
That's not flying at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like there's a big problem at that club, and I think that it's crazy because they always make these big signings and we think that, okay, well, a new manager has come in. Perhaps there's going to be change. Look, there's going to be no change. There's going to be no change. The thing about them is that, yeah, you got Jorginho, but what else did you get? You can't expect to win something when you give the manager one player and there's still issues within that squad. You still didn't give him a center forward. You knew you had an issue with forwards last season. You know that the defense isn't that great. You know that that you need a right winger. You needed one for years.
I still think you need a fullback, if not two.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think Azpilicueta should play day in and day out as a right back.
No.
I think in a back three he works and he plays that position well.
He's been morphed into somewhat of a center back.
Exactly.
So that's what he is. So there are big issues with this squad, and these fans and these players think that firing Sarri is gonna save them.
Nope.
Sarri's their best chance of them getting back to where they want to be.
You can't continue to fire manager after manager after manager and then still blame the manager.
And then wonder what's wrong.
I told you, I've been waiting for the day that eventually managers get together and say no. No. But,
you know who's flying that flag? Mourinho.
Yeah.
He's going to be the guy who flies that flag.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that kills me is that the media is giving Sarri a pass now of him calling out players because he didn't use anybody's name. But 2 months ago, when Mourinho was using names, doing the exact same thing Sarri's doing, he didn't get a pass.
Yeah.
So, well, some of them are still killing him. Like Rio and them were killing him. That's not the way that you're supposed to do it. They'd like it in house. I don't care.
No.
If Sir Alex called him out, he would have kept his mouth shut and not said a
Absolutely.
goddamn thing.
Absolutely.
He would have not said a thing. He would have known his place where to stand.
Yeah.
But that's the problem now, is that the players have become bigger than the club, and the players could do whatever they want and get away with it. And it's what makes me upset is that the players that are doing this, they're all of the new age, and none of them have done shit. They really none of them have done jack. Like if it was like a Luis Suarez or a Cavani or a Lewandowski here, kind of pulling those shots and saying this and saying that, I'd be like, okay, like you're still kind of wrong, but you've done something.
You have a little bit of clout.
Yeah, there.
Wow.
There, you have something. You got something. You got something, but they've done nothing. Nothing. I don't care when you won the Premier League, okay? And it's just a big problem with this football club. And the faster the fans are complaining about Sarri ball, look, Sarri ball cannot be played with these group of players. So they're asking for Sarri to play, to work, to find a way to get these players to work. And yeah, that kind of is his job. To be the pragmatist.
Did Sarri sign up for that, or did he sign up for to impose
exactly.
Sarri ball the way he wants?
Exactly.
Yes.
No.
Exactly. And that's what the fans need to know. Because if they knew anything about this guy before he came in, they would know that this is not how it's going to go. Okay? Yes, he's trying to finish in the top 4, but if he could get that system implemented and bring in the players that he wants next summer, that don't matter to him. He's trying to be there for the long haul. He's trying to improve the club for the long haul. But these fans are so narrow-sighted, and I think the manager is. I mean, I think the owner is. I think the board is. Because how could you want to win something and look at what Liverpool's done and looked at what City's done in terms of investing and in terms of how they get their play, who they get, and how they target them, and continue to do what you're doing? Someone pulled something up that Chelsea have spent like 200 and something million over the past few seasons, and they don't really have much to show for it. Morata, Giroud, I saw like Baba Rahman.
Jeez.
Kepa.
Jorginho, Kepa.
Just those two right there. That's a large sum of money.
Yeah.
Emerson.
And
Zappacosta.
The countless players they sign and let it go on loan as well.
Oh, they have a whole team on loan.
Yeah.
They have something like 40 some odd players on loan or something ridiculous.
So
they got a real big problem. And putting Conte as the sole pivot is not going to change that. No. It kind of starts with Higuain as the little patch job, but the fans, they better not start booing him. They better not turn their back on him, because I just want to know who they think they're going to bring in next. Because what top manager wants to go there? Not that Pochettino was a top manager, but Pochettino's not going to want to go there.
No.
Simeone's not going to want to go there.
No.
Who else is thinking? Lopetegui would never go there.
No.
I would hope not.
And if you're looking at that Chelsea side, you got to do it now.
Yeah.
Because that team's old.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is not one young player in that side where you're like, okay, this is an up-and-coming top player. There's no Eden in there anymore.
No.
There's Eden, William. These guys are all getting over that hill.
Pushing the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend money, but when you look at it, they're going to have to spend a lot of money to get to where they want to be. And they're going to have to compete with City. They have to compete with Liverpool. They have to compete with United. They have to compete with Arsenal to get those players. So I want to know how they're going to do that. And I want to know how they're going to do it if they let this guy go. Because I feel like if they let this guy go, I don't know how you could have any faith in this club going forward. Because this is what they've always wanted. And they always go after these managers with the project, with the philosophy. And they can them.
Because they don't let the philosophy take shape.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're looking at other clubs around you that are surpassing you, and they're letting the philosophy take shape. If they didn't have Eden Hazard, they would be toast.
I don't think this is going to happen, and I know you sort of kind of do, but if they somehow sack Sarri by the end of the season, the other 5 sides, they're going to be last in terms of the way their project stands.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a player, I'm going to any of those other 5 sides over Chelsea at this point.
If they and I would agree with you 100%. If for some reason they do, that project goes to shit, and all those other clubs are laughing at Chelsea.
And then you might not be now 2 years behind. You might not be 5-6 years behind of trying to play catch up to everybody else.
Yeah.
But what if Sarri walks?
He doesn't seem like a guy to me who's going to walk. I feel like he wants to see his project take shape, especially after a season. If we get to the point where it's 3 years somehow, Sarri's still around, and he's still fighting tooth and nail to get his players, and things haven't taken shape,
then he walks.
Then I could see him walking and be like, what am I wasting my time here for, right? But I don't see him walking after a year. And something would have to go terribly wrong.
My thing here is that there's a real chance that they could lose Hazard. And how do they replace that? I know Pulisic is coming in, which I repeat is not a Sarri signing. Repeat is not a Sarri signing.
For a lot of money, by the way.
Yes, for a lot of money.
But we can talk about that after.
Which is funny because you have Callum.
Yeah.
So who's I'm gonna venture to say he's played far less and is probably the better player.
Yeah, we could make that case.
Which is another odd thing is why is he wanting out?
Exactly.
What does that tell you?
Yeah.
It's not. I'm gonna guarantee that it's not solely based on because the fact he's not playing. There has to be more to that.
But I don't know why this club doesn't work with the manager anymore in terms of getting or trying their hardest to get the intended players that they want. Because it's happening everywhere else for the most part. But what do you think? What pennies are you trying to save? What is the problem here? Because it's not like it was when they sacked Mourinho, or it's not like it was in the early or in the late 2000s where you had the Ballacs, the Lampards, the Drogbas, the Terrys, the players that could really get you out of this. You don't have that.
Yeah.
It's not like when they sacked Di Matteo and they went on the little Champions League run where they still had those players pushing them. It's not like when they sacked Mourinho and they still had a title-winning side that Conte inherited and the other sides were still trying to rebuild. The other sides are here. They're ready. Barring Spurs, who could be a totally different side next season. But the other three are here and ready.
You know what
So you can't afford.
What I hope doesn't happen? I hope they somehow don't miraculously win the Europa League. Because then that's going to make everybody think that this team's all right. You know, things he can work with what he has. And that's going to even implement the board to be like, okay, we don't have to give him that much money.
Then it could happen.
Yep. That's not
It's not far-fetched.
I was just about to say. It's not a far
it's not a crazy thing to say. Yeah. But I think that potentially could be the worst thing that could happen for this team.
Yeah. And in most cases that ends up happening to this team. They are just, my thing is that when I remember playing soccer at a high level in this small little province, I remember I had a coach that we'd play a 90-minute game and I would play 4 or 5 different positions in that one game, which is a bit unorthodox. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's either you do it and you play, or you refuse to do it and you don't play.
Yep. Yeah.
And you do whatever you do so you could get more playing time and so that you could win.
Yep. I was in a similar situation where same level, and the coach asked me to play left back, right back. And at the time I was a midfielder. I never said to him no, because I know if I said no to him, my ass was on that bench and I would never be coming off. So I did. Yeah. Did I make mistakes? Yeah. But I never second guessed the coach. I put everything I could into playing that position.
Yeah. And I've been in positions where I played for coaches or managers where, I probably wasn't getting the fair amount of minutes that I felt that I had. And I felt like, wow, like you feel like your morale is down. So I could get where those players are coming from. But at the end of the day, when you look back at it, you're like, man, why? I'm an idiot. Like if I'm playing this certain amount of time, I play my socks off and do what I got to do for the team to win. But a lot of these players, and it's fair because I played in sides where I've got to play in the position that I wanted to play in. Did they do very well? Not as good as the other clubs where I had to play a role. But a lot of these players are coddled. They think that they are better than they are, and they want to play a certain way. And because that's the way they've been developed throughout their youth system up until this point, they feel that if they're not playing a certain way, if they're not playing in their certain position, then they're not going to play.
Yep.
And they could get away with it now because boards and ownerships are sacking these managers because they feel like they can. Because the investment that they put into these players.
A player is much more than a player nowadays.
Yes. Mm-hmm. A player's a brand.
A brand.
That's what it is. You're not going to sack Eden because there's 5,000 people who in the stands who just came to see Eden.
Yep. Yeah. And the same can be said with Pogba.
The same thing.
Eden, Griezmann, Paul, all these guys.
Same thing.
Oh, Nike United has an Adidas kit. Paul is part of the Adidas brand.
Yeah.
Look,
Let's play Paul.
let's be honest. Do you think the reason why Pulisic is
Oh,
coming?
it's all the American
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, we know. That was the first.
You paid
know?
60 million for a kid who's not even playing.
Yep.
He barely gets minutes.
70
at
million,
Dortmund.
I heard.
Whatever it is,
Whatever. It's
67.
it's too
Anything
much.
in excess
Yeah.
of 35 is, I think, is too much
it's
for
too
him.
much.
Yeah.
I don't care that he's 22. I don't care what his short
ceiling.
stints where he's been. That's way too much.
But you know, I don't want to say too much more on this on these two teams, but I feel bad for him because he's going to come into this league, a new league, with that price tag on him, and if he doesn't start off well, you want to talk about pressure on a kid's shoulder. Watch out.
You know, well, I'm not worried about him per se because that's what the Americans did to him when they didn't make the World Cup.
Yeah.
It was on that kid's shoulders.
Yeah.
It was on that kid's back.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the next great American hope.
Yep.
For a nation that's trying to push that product heavily, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, to me, it's like, oh, it's going to be another day for him. Unfortunately, that's the role that he's been thrusted into, right?
Look, man, and we're gonna get more into this deep dive on Chelsea Football Club. But all I gotta say is there's a big problem there, and it goes deeper than Jorginho playing and his preferred position. It's with the board, it's with the fans, and it's the club, it's the owner, and they gotta fix something there because they are in a real position where if they go the path that they're going on now, it's not even about finishing in fourth, but if they ditch this Sarri project and they lose Eden, I think that could really be good night because the position that Liverpool, City are in, where Arsenal are going, what Manchester United continuously aspire to be, Chelsea just aren't doing it. You could see it in the way that they hire managers. You could see it in the way that they look to invest in players. You could look into the money that they spend and what they have to do to get that money by selling players off. I personally think that what they have, they're also somewhat overachieving. That may not be the popular opinion, but if you don't have a top center forward and your best player doesn't like to score goals, and I like to joke about that, but I really think that he doesn't like to score goals. He could dribble your whole team, but he doesn't want to score.
Yeah.
And your midfield doesn't offer you goals, and your center back is probably your most creative player in terms of penetration, pause, then you got a big problem.
And you're still in fourth.
God, the league's terrible. Let's get to the next teams. What else mattered?
Want to go to Liverpool?
I was going to say, they scraped out another 3 points.
They made that game a lot more closer than it should have been. Let's be honest.
Who, Palace did, or?
No, Liverpool. I thought they should have shut down shop after they made it 4-2. But I'm not taking anything away from Palace because I thought they played very, very well and they made it very difficult.
4-2. It was 3-3.
Huh?
Was it not 3-3?
No.
At one point?
No, it was 4-2. And they scored that goal.
Oh, Meyer scored at the end.
Yeah.
Near the end, sorry.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Speroni, I don't know how much we can say about.
I think he had Salah on his fantasy team.
I don't know what he was doing, but I don't know about Liverpool being very comfortable in that game.
Yeah.
Zaha was cooking Milner.
Yeah.
Milner had no idea what to do with him
Was Klopp not going to do anything about that?
until he forced his hand and got sent off.
Yeah. But that first goal, Zaha burned Milner and cut it back to.
Yeah.
He was doing that all game.
Yeah, he was doing that all game.
Yeah.
Palace historically played Liverpool well. If we go back to when they lost in that year that Man City came back.
Back in one?
Yeah. So they historically played them well. I thought Palace should have probably got a point this season. But what happened was that the Salah penalty and then the Mane late goal, right?
Yeah.
So I think they played them well, and I think that they should really feel like they should have got a point there. But Speroni really didn't do himself any favors. And when we go to goalkeepers,
that's my specialty.
the De Gea clan was ready to say something. The only goal that I think he probably should have saved, and I don't know if there was a deflection, and even if there was, I think he should have saved it, was the last one.
I'm not mad at him for any of the goals that went in. Tompkins is a well-placed header. Like you can't fault anybody for nothing on those.
Your boy let in 3 goals and he got 3 shots. I was like, yo, let me watch this game. Let me watch this game and see what happened.
No, I'm not faulting him for any of that.
There's none of them.
I was like,
No.
I was like, if these are coming with a smoke on the podcast, I'm gonna be like, yo, the third one, the third one,
Yeah.
trying to get Allison the hell out of here.
Yeah, no.
But Liverpool, they keep doing it.
Yep.
Well, they keep doing it. And I told you guys where I think this could all go downhill, and we're not at that month yet. So I'm not gonna say I'm surprised.
You waiting for February?
No, I've March, April, man.
Oh, okay.
March, April.
I was gonna go actually 1 month before because they have a tough stretch with Bayern in there.
But they seem to rise to the occasion in those bigger games. So I can't really.
The thing that's scary is we haven't seen them play their best.
But I think this is the way that I think this is.
You don't think that they have another?
I think with.
Or they're choosing not to go to another gear.
I think they're choosing not to play the way that they played in the past because that wasn't working for them. So they'd prefer to be solid at the back and offer less going forward. Less is more. I'm corny.
So you're saying that this season they would rather have a 1-0 victory as opposed to a 3-2, a 3-1.
I think they've managed games much better than they did in the past, where they would go a bit gung ho and get hit eventually, right? But I feel like with Van Dijk there for a full season, I feel like that was the trade off, and I think Fabinho has really settled in well. I like him.
Yeah.
I never not liked him.
Out of all the signings, I'll tell you right now, he probably wasn't pegged as the one to be starting.
Yeah. But I feel like he should start.
Yeah. Of Keita and Shaqiri, it was always going to be tough to crack that front three. But for Fabinho to be your everyday starter now, I think people would have probably had Keita in ahead of him. Yeah. Which is also a testament to what Henderson and all the Henderson, Milner, and Wijnaldum have been able to do as well, because they've kept Keita out.
And actually,
They've played better than him.
I think this FA Cup for Liverpool, well, Liverpool has a break, but I think this is actually a blessing in disguise for them because they can get Trent healthier.
They're off to Dubai,
again,
or Qatar, or wherever they're going.
I don't even think. Yeah, I guess you could say because Milner's out, but I'm more.
But he offers a lot more than Milner on that side. Trent does.
I just think Milner. I think Milner could play there consistently. I just think that's a bad matchup. I think Trent could have got burnt too.
You think Trent?
Yeah.
Really? I think Trent. So I don't think that he's not going to have trouble with Zaha, but I think he defends him better than Milner does in terms of pace.
I don't think most defenders want to go 1-on-1 with Zaha.
No, I'm not saying that. But
I get what you're saying because he's a natural right back.
Yes.
Or to a degree, right?
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the front three, and I think that they, like I said it last podcast, I feel like they're exhausted, and I feel like they're going to hit a burnout towards the end of the season. I feel like they played too many games over the past 12 to 24 months, and I feel like yes, they are getting production, but I don't think that could last.
That's been my biggest gripe
the entire season. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure that can last the entire season.
You guys know I've been saying that for a while, is how far can that front three continue to go?
And like I said, if it doesn't happen this season and they somehow win the league, it's definitely happening next season.
Next season, yeah.
That they won't care at that point.
Yeah.
To get 2 seasons out of that front three, playing however many games, deep Champions League run, title contending. Yeah, you're happy.
It'll be worth it if there's a trophy behind there, right?
You've burnt them, but like you just said, there's a trophy to the name, and you go from there.
And are we gonna have that conversation finally? Salah the real deal? Can we take?
Not off this week, even though he scored the 2 goals. But yeah,
are we getting to the point where the moniker, the 1 season?
Oh yeah, but I think I think that 1 season wonder is, by this time, I think it's gone. I mean, he's shown, or at least to me, he's shown that last season wasn't just a one-off. He's had another very, very good season.
I will raise the argument that I know he will be tempted to possibly move somewhere, especially with those Spanish clubs looking to get players, but I don't think he should.
No, I and I said this on the podcast as well. I think he needs to stay at Liverpool for a couple more seasons before.
Whoa, I was.
No.
He's not young.
No. He's a 92, no?
He's not 20.
He's a 92, right?
Yeah.
Is he?
I think so. Something along those lines. I think he's 26, 27.
Salah?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. I think he's our age.
Well, your age.
Something along those lines.
Damn. Yeah,
Right?
he is.
Right?
Good for him. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like a season or two.
That's what I just said.
But no, I don't. The way those two clubs are right now, I think they'll be pushing that now.
But I don't think Liverpool is
Or Bayern.
I don't think Liverpool is a club that needs to sell a big name guy, and I don't think they're gonna cash in on Salah. I don't think Liverpool is that kind of club.
They chopped Philip.
It's not. But the thing is, it's not about them. If he wants to go,
Yeah, if he wants to go, then if he wants to go, you sell him.
I think he'll want to go.
Then you sell him like they did Coutinho.
What's the market value for him? Are you paying more for him than you are for Eden?
This market?
Is he worth more than Eden?
No.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes. You don't know what you're going to get from Eden. Eden is a question mark.
Well, I don't
Right
know if you know 100% what you're going to get from Salah.
For the body of work that he's done, even when he was at Fiorentina, even when he was at Roma, now that he's at Liverpool for this past few years.
Eden's got Premier League titles with some scrubs.
Yeah, but
He's got World Cup runs.
Salah.
that's not fair. Eden plays for Belgium.
He's their best player.
Yeah.
Well-
Okay. Mo plays for Egypt, and he took him to the World Cup.
But Eden was their best player.
So is Salah.
Don't hit me with that. Don't hit me with that. Don't hit me with that. We're not having that conversation.
Well, you mean El Neni isn't?
Eden has the bigger
Transfer market value?
Yeah.
So the price tag is bigger on Eden. I agree. I think
Yeah.
Eden is more valuable than Salah.
I think it's pretty damn close.
Okay, so if somebody rolls around with 100 million bid, is Liverpool chopping him? Or does that depend on what they achieve this season?
It might depend on what they achieve and what he wants. But I think he'd be tempted to go to Madrid or Barca if they were calling. I don't think he would say no.
I don't think Barca can sign anybody for that much anymore. They've spent their money.
Yeah, they got to get rid of.
Jesus.
They got to get rid of some of those guys.
Who else are they? It's like a FIFA Ultimate Team at
Yeah,
at one point.
I feel like if Madrid came calling, he would want to. I feel like even if Bayern came calling,
That would be an interesting change.
he may,
I think the thing that's impressed me about him this season is how he's changed his game. He's not just the speed merchant, if you want to call him that.
could play with his back to goal. He can play up front.
He's scoring a lot of shitty goals, but that's because positionally he's now
In the
aware
right-
of where to
Exactly.
be.
Yeah.
He's in the right.
That's a huge
positions.
thing. I don't think a lot of players get credit for.
Yeah.
It's something like Higuain that he'll bring, just positionally knowing where to be. You can't really teach that to a certain degree. It's something you either learn or you have it instinctively, I think.
Like you said, that second goal, I don't think Salah scores that goal last year. I think this year, he's in the right place at the right time. And you know what? I've never played forward in my career. But you know what? Some people that I played with just have a knack of being in the right place at the right time. And I don't think it's fluke. I think you learn to develop that instinct of when the goalie spills the ball, you're right there. So credit to Salah for adding that extra dimension to his role.
But yeah, that's a solid conversation for now. Anything else you guys want to say about Salah and that Liverpool side before we switch it off? No, you guys are good. City won
Quite convincingly.
against the side that is going down. I think we pretty much have the three that are going down, unless
We think Fulham's going down?
Yeah.
I really hope not.
Yeah.
I really like Claudio.
I'm still holding out hope. I think far too talented, too much talent in that side.
Yeah, we're
They
saying-
can't defend worth a lick.
Yeah, but that's the
I've been saying it for weeks. Yeah, I know. I've
Yeah.
been saying it for weeks. I've been defending them. I'm waiting for them to come alive at some point.
Well, they
But-
let you down this week.
But I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. And we'll get to them in a second. I'm with you. But the thing is that they can't defend. Sorry, Tim Ream. Sorry, Le Marchand. Sorry, Adoy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sergio Rico. It's who else is there's one team it's
It's
Car-
Huddersfield, Fulham, Cardiff. And
And-
the bottom three.
Oh, and Cardiff is the one that's closest to everyone else, right?
Yeah.
They
I
made
think
Cardiff's
Fulham,
on-
I think Fulham is 7 points
Cardiff's
back.
on 19. Newcastle's on 21.
Cardiff made some signings. I don't know how that's going to work out for them. So
Yeah, they sent that striker from Spain.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kill them yet because maybe they got something there. Maybe they got a little gem. They finessed. But City beat Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And they're going to need some shaping to really get things going. But typical City performance.
Huddersfield? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're going down.
Did they sign a new manager as well?
Yeah.
Interim.
In term.
Oh, okay.
City made some nice work of that. Anything you guys want to say about it?
I thought it was typical City performance.
I think City have bounced back nicely from that little rough December, end
Yeah.
of December, beginning of January.
Yeah.
And now you just see if they can keep up the pace to where they're hoping for a Liverpool slip.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
will that Liverpool slip come? Because now they're in a position where it's not in their hands.
Yeah.
They have to put foot on the gas, game in, game out, get everybody firing on all cylinders because you have to win out at this point. That's the mentality I think Pep has to instill in these players week in and week out.
But that's the best. I think that's the best thing for them, especially with that Champions League run coming. They need to be in that mentality week in, week out. They have the players, they have the depth, and I think that's fine. And they're not proving Dan's theory wrong, but they don't care if they play second.
Yeah.
No.
They're
And
handling
you know
their
what?
business.
Kudos to them. They're in all 4 competitions as well.
I think the
And
Liverpool
they're in the
slip is
finals
coming.
of the other, who do they play? Burton
That's done.
overturned
Yeah.
a
We're not
9-0.
even-
That was 9.
We're,
9.
We're not even watching that this week.
No.
That's another.
That's
night
going to be
out.
the day I'm going to sleep.
Exactly.
Oh no, the Copa del Rey's on. Don't worry.
Yeah, so you know what? I think that's something that has to be respected too. That Pep is fighting on all 4 fronts as well. There's going to be there's a very strong possibility that Pep adds another a minimum two trophies to his repertoire. I don't think he can add all 4, to be honest, but.
Oh, don't be one of those. Do you think Pep is gonna win the quadruple?
No, I don't think so. But
The allure.
I think like I said, I think it's impressive that he has this team, and as he should. But it's impressive that he's got this team fighting on all 4 tournaments, if you want to call them, that they're playing in.
I think he's pissed off to the right amount now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Raheem scored a header.
good for Raheem.
That's all I want to say.
And
Okay, Raheem.
Sane scored again.
Yeah, Sané scored.
Sane's in some form right now as
Yeah.
well, which is nice to see after his non-World Cup and
Yes.
the beginning of the season he had,
Yes,
which is good to see that he's rounding into form.
Mara is kind of what is off a bit, quiet.
Which, when you have that much talent, it goes to show you what a deep bench can do for you because you're not going to have everybody ticking
Yeah,
for 38 games of the year.
Yeah.
You have to have players that you can slot in here and there.
yeah. There's 2 Silva's got a rest as well.
yeah. So that's big, and De Bruyne got some minutes, so that's
Yeah.
key.
He's starting to look almost like his old self.
And I think that is integral for February onwards.
Mhm.
So it might not be too bad. They had their little slip, and I agree with Fabs. Liverpool has to have a slip at some point.
Yeah, they haven't had it yet.
And
Well, everybody's waiting for it.
yeah, so we'll see.
You have to assume that it's coming.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm just saying
No, yeah,
everybody's also waiting for it.
Yeah, Spurs almost had theirs this weekend.
Hey, shout out to my Spurs team.
I don't know why you're shouting that out.
When Harry wins you the game from a header, Fernando couldn't even get onto the end of any headers, and Harry did.
Yeah.
That's just
See, and
But-
that's
but
my
I don't
issue
think
with
that-
Spurs is that
I don't think
there's a couple moments in the game where, especially for me, there's that one where Lamela tries to do that cross with the outside part of his foot.
yeah.
That if that's Son in that position, I think the result of that is a lot different. Where
right.
there was a couple times where Llorente plays wall pass to Ali to get him into a nice position
Yeah.
where he can't.
Right.
And I think that's the difference between where you're not reinforcing this side and you have to now play with Fernando.
Right.
You have no other option.
Yes.
You're bringing in Nkulu near the end of the game because you have nobody else.
Yes.
They got Vincent Janssen, who they
Okay.
apparently want to offload.
Yeah.
Um,
And now Deli's hurt.
yeah,
He's gone down with a hamstring.
yeah.
You know what? I
Yo-
really hope.
If Chelsea don't beat them in that Carabao Cup semi-final,
Oh, that's a bigger issue there. You know what? I hope Poch gives me a call. I can run down the wing for him. Some crosses in for Llorente.
If I was Poch, I'm not letting Son leave. Nope.
He's already gone.
No. I'm saying come back. Throw the game. I will keep you in hiding over here. We'll keep you safe. We'll give you an English passport.
That's right. You'll be okay.
You know who's his coach?
Oh.
Paul Bent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild to me.
Yeah,
Who?
That's absolutely
yeah, Paulo
the,
Benzo.
the former Portugal
Sure.
coach.
He's coaching.
Yeah, he coaches South Korea.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's pretty crazy. But yeah, you can tell the difference of when you lose a Kane, you lose a Son.
Yeah, of course.
Like the difference is there.
I just think the difference is there this year because it was never really the case in previous years. But it's the case this year because Son's form has been really great.
Yeah.
Because before that, he's been more of a streaky player. And the second factor is because Kane is pretty much needs a summer off.
Yeah.
And he hasn't got one, and he's not getting one this summer either. And he just looks fatigued. And I think that's the reason why this is such a big thing. And a lot of those players have played a lot of football, and they haven't really gotten the rest that they need.
So is he purposely getting hurt middle of the year to get his month off?
He,
Is that what he did last year and this year?
I feel like he has to.
That's our deep dive.
Or intentionally. No, the body could wear out too, man. I don't know, but that's definitely a big thing. And I don't know if depending on how long Deli's out, that really puts a lot of now onus on Lucas and Lamela to get something.
But do those like against the smaller sides? You'd have to think that those players
Yeah.
have enough,
But
Right.
But
to
that's
continue to get the points.
that's always been the big thing for Spurs is that I've said this repeatedly is that I trust them to beat the smaller sides more so than the other sides. But they got through. They still sit 4 points at Chelsea. I don't think that's a big gap.
No.
It would have been much more interesting if they did drop points.
Yes.
But that 4 point gap isn't that huge. So they're in for a little fight as well. And it'll be interesting to see how they cope during this time period because everyone has injuries and they got to deal with it.
But I think both goals also just highlight how poor Fulham are defensively.
100%.
Because both those goals, the first one, okay, fine, was a nice header by
Nope.
by
Yeah, but
Dele.
that was a
No?
poor clearance.
The
That
poor-
only ends
poor-
up there.
Poor clearance and Adoy and Christie.
Lose their man.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think the second one,
Yeah.
Rico's got to come out.
Well, Brian got bullied by Winks.
You just
Yeah, that
you
too.
can't lose a header to
No.
Winks in
No,
the 92nd
no,
minute.
Right, yes, but I think that header is inside the 6. Rico's got to come out and catch that.
Yeah, that's not his cup of tea. But yeah, I agree.
No, I know.
I agree with you. I agree with you. He should be out there. But Brian can't get bullied.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't
Yes.
come out, he got bullied.
Yes.
Good showing from Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had especially the first half. He had a very good first half.
See,
Which I thought the change for him to come off was a little odd.
apparently because he hasn't played football in like
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Since I think December or
Yeah.
October or something along those lines. He
December.
hasn't really been featuring much.
Yeah.
So I get it in terms of fitness, but because what he was offering you, I really don't think that Sessegnon was,
No,
able to replicate.
there was a complete drop off.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, that's my biggest thing is that, yeah, you could bring in Babel, but I was more upset that they brought him in and they still haven't brought in maybe a commanding center midfielder or someone that could play in that back line. And I think that's the biggest issue there. Shout out to Mitrovic for giving Aaron's guy DDT.
Yeah.
They were having a nice little
Yeah.
back and
Tussle.
forth all game.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Davinson don't want that smoke.
I'm
man.
surprised none of them got carded earlier.
I know.
Davinson don't want
But it's
that.
funny because Davison got carded on that DDT.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, as he
Poor
should.
guy. He almost caught a concussion and a yellow card.
Yeah.
You should. Don't get DDT'd at Craven Cottage. Come on.
Hit the reversal one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
You never played the video games,
Yeah,
Davidson?
come on, man.
Just smash the buttons.
It's your one chance to do something productive. We don't know when we're going to see you again on the pitch.
No.
United won
Yes.
7-7.
It was fairly comfortable until the end a little bit.
Right.
I don't think they played well.
No, they were not. I don't want to say lucky enough, but they go up 2-0 and they sort of coasted from there, from that point on.
I don't think they should have been up 2-0.
Was it? You know what? Honestly, I didn't watch the game. I saw the highlights. I saw the penalty call on Pogba, and then I saw Rashford's
Nice goal.
nice goal.
I don't think there was much difference there from what we would get from maybe this is like the little drop off from the new manager drip, but I don't think there was much of a difference from that than what we would get from Mourinho's United side.
Is that just them also finding a way to win, though? Is that them managing the game a bit better?
I think that'd be very nice to them. I'm speaking more so that, like Dan, I didn't catch the final 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything in those final 10 minutes that really changed anything, but there wasn't really much there. I know what they are, so I know that eventually this miraculous winning streak is eventually going to come to an end. I know that they have some issues, but
they have a light schedule.
They do have a light schedule.
So this might go on for a few more weeks.
This may go on for a few weeks. It's the running narrative. He's eventually going to be in the talks for getting the full-time job.
Burnley, Leicester, Fulham, and then Liverpool.
Yeah.
So
at that point, they could gain enough confidence to go to Liverpool and go at them toe-to-toe.
Hey, they beat them last year, so that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Martial has played much better, or especially that from what I saw then. And the midfield was okay. Rashford did score a great goal. The interesting thing about Rashford what I was thinking about when I was watching was that he had a lot of chances for Mourinho.
Mm-hmm.
Was not able to finish any.
And was not able to finish any. And I don't want anyone to come here and tell me that because Mourinho left, now his confidence is high.
Yeah.
Or Ollie told him he could be as great as Ronaldo.
They're having the little chit chats.
Or as great as Harry Kane. So now those 1v1s, he's put in the back of the net.
Maybe they sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya. Paul teaches everybody new dance moves. I would just love to walk into the United dressing room. Could you imagine how crazy it is?
They're a bunch of weirdos.
Paul's just doing some dance moves.
Paul for sure is controlling the music.
Who does Matic sit with?
He was playing Uno with Pogba.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I seen that Twitter thread thing. But, like, there's a couple guys there I wonder, like, what do they, like, who's Lindelof hanging out with?
Mata.
You think Mata and Lindelof get along?
No, I'm just saying, how about Mata?
Mata's part of the Spanish crew. Okay. Him, Herrera, De Gea.
They just,
they hit the Spanish steakhouse together.
Yeah, they do their own little thing.
Yeah, they do. They do that.
Little tease.
They don't hang out with the young kids. I don't know how many of Paul's dance moves Herrera can do without getting injured for a long stretch of time. But like they're playing above their expectations in a sense where I think when we were at the point of Mourinho was running the side is I didn't expect them to go 7 on the bounce.
Nope.
Right?
Well, if you said 6 with a loss, I would have been like, okay. But everyone would expect them to lose Spurs, right? And they didn't lose to Spurs, albeit they probably should have if you really look at the context of the game.
Yes.
That's what I mean, though. Yes, have they leveled up in a sense where they're playing better? But we know this is only going to go so far.
Yeah.
Like we've been mentioning before, it's just a Band-Aid for now.
Yeah. But they're back in the hunt. 3 points out.
Sure, we said at the beginning, third and fourth was going to be a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been wrong.
So, but yeah, I wasn't that impressed, and they got the 2 goals early when I don't think they were the best team in that half, and they got to keep going. That's all I can really say. But
Locadia has been really underwhelming for Brighton. Mm-hmm. He came in as that expensive signing and has not been able to replicate his PSV, right? Came from PSV?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that was because they have some decent pieces there. Like if he was able to play up top with Murray and maybe play Knockhart on the outside,
they gotta have someone play closer
with
to
Sully.
Murray.
Yeah, because he's it's him on his own.
Yeah,
it's him or die basically.
No, I was gonna say I actually value Murray as a decent striker, but he's just too isolated. Week in, week out.
Spurs should go sign Glenn.
There you
I'd
go.
rather have Glenn than Fernando.
Yeah.
At this point.
But that's what I have to say about United. You guys think they have a chance against PSG?
No,
No.
I'm not. I'm not believing the hype.
Okay. I'm not saying I am either.
I'm not making any more predictions on this podcast.
I don't think so.
That would be best.
Yeah.
That would be best for your
Yeah.
interest. Don't make any more
No.
predictions.
Not after a weekend where PSG put up 9 and make it look real easy.
Wow.
Guingamp had to learn. they thought they could knock them out of the cup and get away with it. That was definitely not happening.
How many points are they in first by? This is why, I have such a gripe. But they're 13 points ahead. They still haven't lost this season.
No.
They're 13 points ahead and have 2 less games.
So that's good.
So it's potentially 19 points ahead.
Hey, it's not that far off from Serie A.
Well, that's our
that's not true.
League One roundup.
No, that's our. Did anything else in the Premier League happen that mattered?
Oh, there was the Wolves game.
We're not talking about those losers.
No.
They both suck.
Come on, give Ruben. I gotta give Ruben just a round of applause.
Okay, go ahead.
Where is it? There it is. Some of those passes.
The United fans weren't happy that I called out that Paul made the exact same pass.
No?
No.
Oh, well.
They
They're
weren't happy.
losers.
They
Watch
weren't
more
happy.
games.
They
Yeah.
weren't happy. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We've seen the same thing
Yeah.
week in and week out. You all get excited.
What am I gonna say about Wolves?
No, it was a fun game. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
In terms of fun factor,
Yeah.
let me be a fan for once, okay?
Go ahead.
No, it was. It was. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it
It was
wasn't.
very
Anytime Diogo Jota manages to score 3 Premier League goals,
Yeah, one of them was just that was the Neves one where he just bombed it. I
yeah,
was like, okay,
good for you.
young fella.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody other than Raul scored.
Yeah.
That was
Good, because that saved my Premier League win.
You and that stupid thing.
Hey, listen.
No,
If I
don't
win,
care.
we're all going out for dinner.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
There you go,
Fine.
okay.
I still don't care, but you better win.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing about Wolves is that the system switch helps them out because now it's not Raul kind of isolated. They have someone playing off him. They're able to put another guy in midfield, although I normally don't like the other guy, but it's something. It's a body, and I think that's really worked out for them. Whereas at the start of the season, the way that they were playing with that 5-4-1, I didn't think that was sustainable. This has kind of worked out for them, more so against the smaller sides as well, right? So good for them.
Claude was pissed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
found that pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I would be pissed too. Sorry, Wes and Danny. They got to get those guys out of
Yeah.
there. I know they won the Premier League, but they're toast.
No, but he's under a little bit of pressure there, too.
Claude.
Yeah.
Well, they're beating the big teams, but the thing about them is that they are much better defending deeper. When they start to pull that line a few yards higher away from that 18-yard box, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And Vardy's too good to be there, but he's a bit old, so
He probably lost his chance to move on.
yeah,
Yeah.
he should have left when.
He's going to be a for lifer at this point.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they got to get the other guys out of there, just because they're not good enough.
Newcastle with a 3-0 win.
Of course, they're not getting relegated. Losers.
Your boys beat Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
Everton, you stink.
Sorry.
Oh my
sorry,
God.
Marco.
50 million to be in 11th place.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marco.
Boy.
Told you.
You know how much Wolf spent for Ruben? You could have bought 2 of him.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Okay, you people won't have to sit through another long Premier League rant because there is no Premier League this weekend.
Yeah. So
Oh,
this
thank
weekend
God.
we could rant about some other stuff that matter. What mattered else? What else mattered? What else mattered?
Well,
You
we
guys care
had
about?
all the top sides win in La Liga.
Yep.
I thought, like we were discussing before, I thought it was probably Real Madrid's best game of the season in terms of performance. But that also goes with saying it was their best game of the season, but it still took you 75 minutes to score a goal.
I took a Casemiro bomb and then Modric at the end because Carrico, or however you want to pronounce his name, messed it up.
Yeah. So that's telling. That's very telling.
But I'm happy Sevilla came down to earth. I don't think they're that good.
They had an incredible start.
Yeah.
Ben Yedder and Andre aren't scoring the way they started.
No. I haven't watched enough of Sevilla playing this year to give them a real
It's a lot of
analytics behind it, but
They didn't get much service at the Bernabeu either. So
I was
that's
gonna- and it's a lot of the same stuff from last year. That going forward, they're an okay team, but they leave themselves too open, too susceptible to attacks.
and that's
And
why
then when you have the likes of Carisu, who's one of your center backs,
there we go.
That's not going to be. That's
No.
not very telling, right?
And that's the problem. And they went there, and I'm happy that Madrid avenged that 3-0 loss. That kind of really shaped their season. And I thought Luka, that was probably his best game of the season, if not one of the.
Yeah, he's been good in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
I think that was one of his better games. So he scored. Casemiro scored a bomb.
Ceballos, I think, is a nice little player there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
They're trying to play through Vinicius, which worked in the first half to a degree.
There's a lot of nice young pieces there, but is the fan base okay with that? And I don't think they are.
No, I don't think they are. And you could feel it throughout the ground, and that's the biggest thing.
Like, they're not going to get behind an Odriozola project. They're not going to get behind a Ceballos project. They're not going to get behind a Reguilon project. Like, they're not. Madrid, maybe they don't spend like they used to spend, but there's still a side that needs the names.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to end this summer. It's going to end this summer. They're going to spend.
There's going to be a full-on change this summer. New manager, new everything.
We're looking at 2009 all over again.
A galactical summer.
It's kind of crazy that it took 10 years for it to happen, but that's usually how the cycle goes.
X amount of trophies in between.
Yeah, I was gonna say it took them 10 years, but to go through that again. But these 10 years for Real Madrid have been quite successful in terms of trophies.
Yeah,
and I still don't think it's going to be a full-on rebuild because you still have some of those pieces are still good enough.
Yeah,
like I think they're clearly not going to get another keeper.
The attack is going to be reshaped.
No, the attack for sure, because if you get Hakimi back, you still have a Varane.
Yeah. Sergio Ramos.
I don't know how much stock you put in a Reguilon. I don't know how much stock I'm putting in him, but you still have a couple of pieces there where it doesn't need to be a full-on rebuild.
No. You
just have to get past the Bale situation.
Yeah.
It's either you're going to sit through this for another 2 years.
No, it's done.
Or it's over.
It's done. It's done.
It should have been done.
I think they cut their losses, and I think he's out in the summer.
Is that Spurs' way of saving face? If they lose Kane?
To bring back Bale?
They could.
No. Where else could you see him go?
Where else could he go?
I don't see him playing in any other top side.
United?
No. I don't.
I just don't.
I personally, I just can't see it. I don't know if he would be willing to do that.
I think if Spurs lose Kane, and they bring in Bale, I mean, I think that's a major drop off.
But what I'm saying is that saves face.
No, if he's healthy, it's not. The thing
that's
is,
the caveat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a huge if.
I could see him go to United just because they're not the smartest and they would want to get him. But yeah, they're gonna. For him, obviously, didn't pan out the way that he wanted it to, but he did enough.
He had his moments.
He had his moments where he scored in those Champions League finals.
Yeah, he scored
in both of them.
Yep.
Both of them that he featured in, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say he scored that fantastic bicycle kick goal in the last one.
Yeah. So he can't really complain. It should have been better, but
no. When he's healthy, he's a fantastic player. The problem is when he's healthy.
Yeah. Oh well. Barca won too. They stayed 5 points clear. I'm not gonna talk about that Huesca Atletico Madrid game. I don't know if you guys watched it.
No.
In the middle of the fog.
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, it wasn't happening. It was not.
We'll give him the pass for a week.
It was not happening. You Grizz gang. Sorry, he assisted a nice goal, but he still didn't really do much. But I was not putting myself through that.
Yeah. I thought it was a foul on Barcelona's second goal. To be honest.
Suarez, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, this is my issue with VAR is that you still can't get something like that right. I think that's pretty clear, evident that he knees Buddy in the head.
When I first saw that, I thought, foul, because I knew he was onside. But when I saw that, I was like, well, he goes through the keeper to get it. I know the keeper didn't have possession, and you can say what you want, but that's a foul on Suarez.
What's more impressive is Suarez's not rebrand, but he sure has picked up his form from last year to this year.
Yes.
He's been 10 times more influential, which takes a burden off Messi.
Yes.
But even then, Messi comes off the bench. And
even then, they needed Messi to come off the bench to kind of finish it off.
Yeah.
Coutinho was ineffective again.
Dembele's hurt again.
I don't
know if that's just precautionary.
Yeah,
he rolled his ankle.
He was hurt.
Oh, okay.
Rolled his ankle, got substituted.
Because I thought he was man of the match
in the first half. The first half, in the
I thought
first
he
half,
played
he was
well.
good.
I thought he played well
But
in the second half.
he's another player who has moments.
Yes.
He could have a few very good moments, and then for 5 to 10 minutes, either A, disappear or get dispossessed by trying to do one too many dribbles.
Yeah, but
So he's a Coutinho with pace.
I think it comes with age too, though.
right.
You better hope it. You better hope it comes with age.
Yeah.
It technically does, but you better hope it does.
Yeah. For most, it does. Right?
Because I don't care if you could beat 5 guys and then it's not even like you made the pass in like the tightest angle. He just like completely gave it to the other team.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with it. That was the biggest problem. That's why I thought Buddy in midfield played better than him in the first half.
Arthur?
No.
Malcolm?
No, I don't like that.
I know you don't. That's why I was.
I don't like that guy.
Elena, whatever his name
Carlos?
is. Yeah.
Elena?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it.
Is this the end of Coutinho at?
Well, there's rumors.
It's way too soon.
There's rumors that they're gonna offload him. There's rumors that it's not working.
He's not going now. I'm talking about the summer.
There's rumors.
Even then, it's not even been a
full
real
year?
full season.
The brand is big, man. The brand, again, the brand. It's huge. Pause. So
The Coutinho brand? Is that what
yeah,
you're talking about?
yeah. So I don't know, but he has proven to be everything that I knew he was and more. And it kind of reminds, in terms of his tactical positioning and his intelligence, it's reminiscent of Cesc, but at the end of the day, it's just he's a player full of moments, and I don't know what he really offers Barca. He scored a lot of big goals for Liverpool, but when you really look at the meat and potatoes, doesn't really control games, doesn't influence games, doesn't do enough. And he's not good enough to play in that midfield the way that Barca want to play. And those other players are, so they have nowhere else to play him but on the left. And I don't know if that's going to work out.
The Coutinho for Salah swap.
The return.
A year later.
It's tempting. You never know in this sport. So I don't know. But that was my little deep dive. And yeah, they brought on Messi to kind of kill it off. And Messi and Suarez have like combined more goals than a lot of La Liga teams.
But I like his combination with Jordi Alba on that goal.
That's their best combination.
Yeah. And he scored with his right foot. Good for Messi. At least you can show that he scores with his right too.
He has something like, since the start of last season, like 22 goals as a substitute. He like leads all players as goals for a substitute, which is crazy to think that Messi coming off the bench scores more goals than how many players?
Yeah.
A lot.
Something he's not really known for.
Yep. Have some of that. What else?
Bundesliga.
You guys die. Whatever Dan was going to say that Hoffenheim should have won.
I didn't say Hoffenheim should have won. I'm going to get killed by all those Bayern supporters.
He said it.
No, I think Hoffenheim were right for at least a point in that game.
I'm not going to go that far.
No, look, they pushed Bayern to the absolute limit. They really needed that third and final goal, and Hoffenheim had a chance in that second half to at least make that game 2-2. Or sorry, to make that game 2-1, and then they scored. But look, they gave Bayern as good as they got. Those were 2 nice goals, by the way, by Bayern, especially the second one. Alba sent in a fantastic cross.
He's very young too. He's 26. No, Bayern dominated that first half, and the problem here is that they did lose control of the second, and Hoffenheim pushed players forward. They did move to a back four, if we're gonna go all tactical on people, but I just don't know how you could go into a game so open. Not Bayern, Hoffenheim. And that's been my biggest gripe with them when they play the bigger sides. Is go into that game so
naive.
Yeah, so naive, and then get split open like that, and then try. You can't go into a game like that. That's my big thing with Nagelsmann, and that's why I'm not really there for him like I probably should be, like the hipsters are, to be if we're gonna go that route. But Bayern got it done. They got it done. I did think that Thiago and Martinez with Goretzka a bit higher did help Goretzka.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was probably one of his better games. And I do think that James coming back really helps. And I think that they're gonna need James and Thiago in that midfield and that's the big thing because where do you put Goretzka?
Yeah.
But there are gonna be games specifically, possibly against Liverpool, where they're gonna need control. And if Thiago and Martinez aren't doing it, James can come in and slide in and be that guy. So they're gonna have to find some way to get that done. But they look much better, barring that second half for like large stretches.
Well, they've been expecting that from Thiago for a long time.
Yeah.
And we've asked questions of him on this show before. So it's time where you have to do this on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
You have to be that player that everybody's expecting you to be. But Bayern are getting the job done.
Yeah.
Now, the same way City are in that mode where we win, and waiting for a slip, when is Dortmund going to slip? Because I still think the same way I think Liverpool got it, but even more so with Dortmund because they are a bunch of young kids.
And heavily relying on Royce.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to come.
Well, it was almost this week. If their keeper tried as hard as they could to give him the slip.
And on some weeks, it's the defense that tries hard. So,
Because I don't think Dortmund's going to go the whole season with one loss.
no,
No.
I think that's a little far-fetched.
no, that's not going to happen.
If you're going to say who's going to win out for the rest of the season, who's more likely to win out, I might lean to Bayern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because of the nature of Dortmund's game.
Yes.
Yeah.
But shout out to Witzel with a very nice bar down.
He's had a hell of a rebrand this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been really praising that Witzel
Delaney combo.
Mm-hmm.
They're very pleased with that. Offers them some strength and some leadership and some grit.
I just think that I've seen a couple of teams sit on those guys,
Yeah.
and that team has been completely shut out.
Yeah, and that's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. With Bayern, Lewandowski played very good in the first half, and it led me to believe that the elite strikers, it's coming to an end. Soon we're gonna have none.
Well, somebody will eventually step
I
up.
don't know about that.
Well, a lot of them are.
Barring Harry,
I was gonna say a lot of them are aging.
Yeah.
all of them are on their final
Legs.
legs.
I'm trying to think of who's a young. Okay, Harry, Gabriel.
Gabriel, who?
Jesus.
Oh, we ain't elite.
No, what I mean is who has the potential to become an elite.
Oh, why don't we talk about potential?
Okay, right now, yeah, maybe just Harry.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many. I'm saying in terms of potentially one day becoming that good. Even then, you're not. There's not too many out there. Timo, I think, is somebody who needs a move to Bayern.
Yeah, we're waiting for that.
I don't know what he's wasting his time at Leipzig still
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, and
but
he also had a very good game. He should have scored, actually.
he's been on fire lately.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
You'd like to think so, right?
They normally all go to
But
Bayern at the end.
There's not very many around. If you look at a lot of the top sides, they're not led by young attacking Griezmann. If you're gonna, I don't mean elite, but I mean young strikers.
No, sorry, Grizz guy. No.
Well, he's elite in comparison to what's out there.
I was just about to say, I would put him more elite than...
But he's not a striker. I don't think he's a striker. They were all campaigning that he needs a striker with him to play. So I don't know if he's a striker. He needs Diego.
Whatever. That's center forward.
Okay, fine. But I just think Louis, Edson. I guess the only person you could put is Mbappe, but I don't even think he's really center forward.
No.
So I'm looking at Louis, Edison Cavani, Lewandowski. I guess you put Aguero there.
Harry.
Yeah, but he don't count because he's not in the 30s. But I'm
Okay.
just saying that a lot of those guys are just right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Then we're stuck with like
Mario.
Marcus and these young kids.
The up and coming.
Would you put Big Mario up there?
I put him right at.
He's below the elite.
Yeah, he's just right there.
I think you have to like the game in a different type of way to appreciate what he does.
Yeah.
The mainstream person doesn't see what he does.
No, especially
what he offers,
yeah,
right?
the hard work and all
It's like
that.
Kareem.
Yeah.
Kareem doesn't get the mainstream because he doesn't score as much as you expected him to because of where he came from and what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But the hard work that he does put in off the ball helps everybody who's around him.
I just think Mario needs to be in a certain environment to be the main guy, to lead the line. When he was at Bayern that year, when they won heavily because Robin and Ribéry were in the form of their life, and they were just an all around good team. But if that wasn't the case, I don't know if that would have happened. So that's why I don't know if he could be that main center forward and bag you when you need him to bag you and get through it. I feel that's why Pep let him go.
Mm-hmm.
But Mario's right under there, just like I feel Gonzalo's under there, and there are a few others that are. But that was something that came to mind. But yeah, the Bundesliga, Bayern won, and I thought that they were much better in the first half. Second half, a bit shaky, but they were able to get through it. And Dortmund squeaked by as well. Gladbach won, but Thorgan didn't score, so it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And then Leipzig are pretty much out of the title race, so
Yeah.
we'll leave that there. Anything else? TFC's back. Victor Vasquez is gone. Salute to you.
Go get your bag.
Should have been gone anyways.
Maybe that warm weather will mean he doesn't get injured as often.
That's why, Dan, we felt like he should have been gone. In case you were going to argue that. We're not listening to your argument. We'll listen to your argument next week.
Okay.
Just because we're...
There'll be no Premier
Pressed for
League, so we'll
time.
have lots of time
Oh,
for
great.
it. Make sure
Lots-
you write down
we have
all
lots of
the
time.
extra stuff.
Yeah,
Don't
and I
worry.
hope that there's more TFC news regarding
Josie,
Fanny and Josie
and Seba,
and Seba
and Michael,
and how much they want to stay
other dynasty.
and they
It's okay.
want
It's
to
the
be
beginning of the end.
here.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you want me to say about those guys.
Give the keys to Oso.
Oh God.
Anyways,
Next.
anything else that really mattered?
I think a couple transfers here and there, but a lot of it is still in negotiation periods. Morata and Higuain and all that stuff.
All this time we didn't even talk about Mourinho.
No.
Oh, Kevin Prince Boateng went to Barca. We
Yep.
talked about that
Yeah.
before.
I think we need those Mourinho clips to be played so we can react to them and give people more context, as opposed to us just talking about them.
So, what do you want to play them next week?
Yes.
We could do that. We'll cut up pieces of it.
Because I think won't be much. Go with the Premier League off.
Well, that's what you think. There's always much. Don't ever say there's never going to be much. There's more than enough. And I'm going to hope that you guys take that time off to do something fun on the weekend.
And we'll tell you about it on the podcast.
Oh, I'm going to one of those Winterlicious
Oh, good for you.
dinners on Friday night.
See?
Hey.
I want to hear all about it. Thanks for the invite.
Well,
me too.
Sucks to suck.
And we'll go
I thought
from
we
there.
were your only friends.
Oh, boy, are you mistaken.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that because we didn't have any small talk this week, and I didn't get to hear about your wonderful lives besides Fabs getting the worst phone of the year. And yeah, we'll leave it there. So I'm assuming you guys have nothing else to say.
I got nothing.
That's
You
it.
guys are old and tired. So with that being said, this was episode 54, I think, of the InnerViews podcast. I really think it was episode 54. Fabs says yes, so we're going with that. If you liked what we said, if you agreed or disagreed with what we said, don't worry. We don't care. But you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and any Android device, any Android apps that you use on your Android devices. We upload videos every day on youtube.com/theinnerviews. We also post those videos on facebook.com/theinnerviews. Like and follow and like. And also on YouTube, we do upload the video version of this so you can see our wonderful faces. Tell us whether you like them or not. Tell us whether Dan dresses better than Fabs and I, because he always does. And let us know what you guys think. Where else can they find us? On Instagram, instagram.com/theinnerviewstv, twitter.com/interviewstv, where I try to get these guys to engage in some great social media wars, but that has not been clicking. It's only myself who engages in that. So that is me. And if you have something to say, feel free to say it.
What'd you say last week? You're the PR person of this group?
Yep, that's what you said.
Oh, yes. So Michael could come and
Yeah.
talk his talk.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Bradley. Shout out to everyone that's listened to this podcast. Shout out to the Faithful Black Man Association because I'm wearing the shirt. And I just felt like I had to say that. Do we plug everything?
Hey, it's Martin Luther King Day today
It was.
in the US.
So I'm wearing the shirt.
Very fitting.
There you go.
I'm strategic.
Yep.
With that being said, if we've plugged everything, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, that's where you can find us. All the Android devices, the Spreakers, the Spotifys, the iHeartRadios. With that being said, we have nothing else to talk about. You can catch us next week. It's your guy, Tyrrell.
It's Fab.
Dan.
And we're out.